If you're following Dip vs. Herd, you might know Amber's got a friend named Eve Barlow. Now, there's been a lot of speculation about her since the case ended. So first off, a lot of people think they were in a romantic relationship. So, judging by what Eve has posted on Twitter and Instagram, people have been trying to judge whether they broke up or not, whether they're together or not, and I just gotta say, at this point, after some of my own speculating, I think there's just no way to tell it all. Because not so long ago, about a month ago, news came out that Amber dumped quote-unquote Eve. And even I started to get sucked in a little bit, looking at Eve's posts on Twitter, how much she did, how little she did, and tried to gauge how she felt about Amber using those posts. And the reason I think it's not possible is because she stopped for a while, and now she's back talking about Ben Chu, so who actually knows? So let's go over some of that, what she said about Ben, and what Michelle Dauber said about Ben. And I gotta throw this out there, at this point, I'm not gonna try to figure out anything about who dumped who or whatnot based on social media posts, unless we have something really significant that really is evidence about some kind of a split or some kind of a way to confirm it aside from things she says on Twitter. Okay, here we go to the main point. So, Ben Chu went to one of Johnny's concerts very recently, and he wore this. And of course, Amber fans and supporters are going crazy about how terrible and geeky it looks and all that kind of thing. Alright, first of all, that's meaningless. This kind of discussion has nothing to do with anything. Alright, maybe Ben Chu doesn't have the best fashion sense for a rock concert. So what? And this person here says, Johnny Depp's lawyers are so embarrassing. Is that a Justice for Johnny shirt? A bunch of fans and groupies so professional. It might be. I don't know. I'd find that kind of cool if it was a Justice for Johnny shirt. It means Ben was like following some of our channels maybe, checking out Twitter, kind of like one of us. And the guy did a fantastic job in court, so I'd be proud to have the same opinion as Ben. And of course, the reason I mentioned Eve is because Eve chipped in her silly little opinion. There she is. And Eve says he looks like Freddy Krueger. And you know what? I mean, a little bit because of the lighting, the way it's hitting him. But he doesn't normally look like this. Look at him in court from like 3 months ago. He looks perfectly fine. Clean shaved, regular haircut, whatever. And I gotta tell you something if you don't know. Freddy Krueger, or the real Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund, is on Johnny's side. He supported Johnny on a podcast about a year before the trial. So, okay. It even makes little sense there. We don't care, Eve, as long as it's justice for Johnny and following the facts. I mean, he doesn't look like $10.3 million or anything in that photo, I'll say that. And this person here also says it's so embarrassing. He has all the lawyers' names on that Justice for Johnny shirt. I've never seen a more professional and cringe-worthy legal team in my life. Well, don't worry. You don't have to see them in that sense. It's a rock concert. They could go however they want. And then Eve says, wait, the lawyers' names are on the t-shirt? Because Eve's got important things to do, and this is what she has to talk about on Twitter. Yes, around the outer circle. And Eve says, wow, talk about cringy. That's a pretty cringy response. Something you'd expect from like a 12-year-old opening a toy or a new Nintendo game or something. And then this person chips in, this is why I support bullying these disgusting men. Because Ben Chu wore a t-shirt and some kind of a leather jacket with stars on it. That's a good reason. And of course, this person showcased Michelle Dauber, who says, there are some things you can never unsee, and this is one of them. What a clown. And by the way, Michelle Dauber is a Stanford professor, and Stanford actually somewhat stuck up for her by saying she's got the right to say what she says on Twitter about Johnny and things like that, which no one was saying she doesn't have the right. What people were saying was, it's a little strange that this is how a professor from Stanford spends her time. Well, I could explain it, but not going to get very political here. Let's just say Stanford is like kind of on the same page as Michelle Dauber is, but I digress. Anyway, there it is again. It's one shot. Who the heck knows? He's tired. He's in a grumpy mood from hearing music in his ear all night or something, blasting away his eardrums. So I just think we got a non-issue here. Figured I'd throw this out here one time, because I usually cover things Eve says, but I don't think we have a need to talk about this any longer. And I'd wear that shirt. No big deal. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. I'm doing shoutouts, special thanks, things like that. If you don't subscribe, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. Thanks for stopping by. Rant done for now. See you next time.